again, just like Elfrin said, first step is to make this distributive property. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here. Okay, so somebody tell me what do I bring down? What's the first thing?
Negative 6x.
Right. So negative 6x. Then what? Elfrin, I'll tell you what, I'll call on some of you. Elfrin, you just go ahead and finish this one.
I was going to say positive
And
12.
then,
Yeah, that's fine,
yeah,
Mr. Day.
what did?
Okay. Go ahead, Elfrin. I'll let you finish the rest of it.
You bring down your negative 2x and then negative 16.
Yeah, these guys over here are just hanging out, aren't they? They're not. There's nothing going on with them. Nothing happening with them yet. But now that we've got the distributive property out of the way, what do you see? What's the next pre-shift?
Like terms.
We do have like terms, but are they on the same side or are they on opposite sides?
Opposite.
That's right. So these are actually variables on both sides. And you're right, they're going to be like terms, but we got to get them on the same side, don't we? So that means we can't just put them together like we normally do. We've got to play the game so we can keep it balanced, okay? So go ahead and tell me, what do we want to do next? Elfrin, you want to go ahead with it?
You should call on somebody.
Yeah, I hate to do.
All right.
I wish you could just speak up.
You have to add negative 2x to the. You have to add 2x to negative 2x, and then that cancels out additive inverses, and then you add 2x to negative 6x.
That's definitely one way to do it. I had told you guys to start with the smallest and take it to the largest, but honestly, it's going to be the same either way. It just keeps you from having a negative variable. Let me show you what I mean. Elfrin said add 2x, and that's definitely one way we can go. If we do it to one side, then automatically we have to do it to the other side, right? So just like Elfrin said, additive inverses, those are gone. Negative 16. Just bring that down. Remember, that's a negative, right? Positive 12 is not touched. And then signs are different here, so we subtract, keep the sign of the larger, so that's going to be negative 4x. Now, again, this is not going to cause me a lot of grief here, but if I would have added 6x to both sides, I would have ended up without a negative coefficient of the x. But, I mean, this isn't a big deal, okay? Elfrin, do we have all of the pre-shifts taken care of?
Yes.
Okay, so what's next, brother?
It's official. You subtract 12. No, you subtract. Yeah, you subtract 12 and then subtract 12 from 16.
Okay. Then what? What happens here?
And that gives you. That cancels out.
Right. What do I bring down?
And then that gives you negative 4x.
Yep. Equals.
And then that gives you negative 28.
Good. Okay, then what?
Then you divide by 4.
Negative 4, right?
Yeah.
Do it to one side. Do it to one side, then we have to
Do it to
good. And so we end up with x equals 7, right?
yes.
Okay, everybody take a look at that. Did we ever get Savannah back? I can't see on my screen. Did Savannah ever make it back?
No, she never made it back.
No, she said that her Wi-Fi cut off.
Okay.
She said that she's not going to be able to join this class.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm going to be recording these. we need to show up live. That's going to get you your attendance and stuff. And again, every class will only be live for about 25, 30 minutes. And then you'll be able to cut off, okay? So, all right, let me give you another problem here and see how you can do with this one. Okay. Everybody try that, see what you come up with.
I have a question.
Okay.
What if the coefficients are the same?
All right. So what is that going to do for you? Because you're trying to get them on the same.
Make it 10 times harder.
What'd you say?
Make it 10 times harder.
Actually, it's going to make it a lot easier once you understand. So you've run into the point. What's your line? Read me where you're at.
Negative 24 minus 6x equals 6x minus 24.
So is it going to be on the left side? Is it going to be minus 6x or is it going to be plus 6x?
Minus 6x.
Well, you've got negative 6.
No, plus 6.
Right. Okay. So you're right. It is the same on either side, right? So go ahead and try to get those variables together and see what happens.
Okay.
Tell you what, let's do this. I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to go ahead and finish that. And then I want you all to talk about what you found. Tell everybody in the class. We'll just have kind of a big GPS with you guys. So feel free to go ahead and talk to each other right now, even if you've come up with something.
Savannah joined. She joined back.
All right. Good to have her back. Like I said, on my
I found that the two last numbers on both sides after I did the 6x stuff, I have negative 24 equals 12x minus 24, and they're the same. And then they cancel out. So you just leave 12 equals x?
I'm here, but I'm just waiting on some of you guys to talk to Elfrin about what you got. This is a real fun problem. See if you guys can't talk to each other. Out of all the times you guys could talk to each other in class and you choose not to talk online, what are you guys afraid of?
Davis, what did you get?
I got 1.
Well, let's see if I can.
How'd you get 1?
I don't know. I just got it.
Did you get to there? All I did was the distributor.
I did.
That's just the distributed property, right? The negative 6
Yeah.
times the 4. The negative 6 times the negative x. That gives you positive 6x right here. So what do you notice about both sides?
They're the
They're
same.
the same. They are. So let's say that you don't recognize that and you just say, okay, well, I'm going to get my variables together. So I've got to take one of the 6x's and move it, right? How do I move a positive 6x? Yeah.
You subtract 6x.
So if I subtract 6x from that side, I'm going to subtract 6x from that side. And then these are additive inverses, so I bring down negative 24. Well, look here. Oh, my goodness. These are additive inverses, and I have to bring down negative 24. What's up with that? What just happened?
They just added each other
so your
out.
variables canceled out, didn't they? And so
Yeah.
does what we have on the left, does that balance with what's on the right? Yeah, negative 24
Kind
equals
of.
negative 24, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what happens. Okay, you guys need to write this down in your notes. This is a special type of problem. Okay, it's called an identity. Okay, it's an identity. And what that means is anytime you have an equation where the variables cancel out, and there's going to be 2 cases where this happens. You're going to get the variables canceling out, and then you're going to get something that's always true, like negative 24 equals negative 24, or you're going to get something that's never true, like you might get 0 equals 5 or negative 2 equals 10. But when the variables cancel out, you got 2 different options. One is going to be always true, and one's going to be never true. And so the answer or the solution to the equation, when you get this, is all real numbers. That means you can put anything in for x and it will satisfy the equation. Okay? You might say all real numbers, or sometimes they'll say infinitely many solutions. But it's called an identity. And that means you can plug in anything for x and it's going to make it true. So what's the solution? It's either all real numbers, or you might say infinitely many solutions, because you can put in any number, but it's an identity. How do you know it's an identity? Because the variables canceled out and you got something that's true. Negative 24 equals negative 24 all day long, right? Okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
question.
Yeah.
It's just one of those, it's a special equation. Some equations are just like this. They're identities. You can put in anything for a solution. Okay, let's look at another type. Try this one. When you guys get far enough into it, y'all start talking about it. Just have a little, we'll say parent share, but it'll be a pair and everybody. Everybody share.
Do the distributive property.
So you're talking like this.
Yeah.
All right, what about these guys over here?
Don't drop down with it.
Okay.
And then you um
Come on now.
88Y.
Don't let Alfred do these all by himself. What do you want to do, Alfred?
This is it is dry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who was that?
You
Was it
have
Ryan?
to.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
My
that's
fault.
fine.
When my screen is like this, I can't tell who's on.
It's all right.
So what do you guys think? Are those 8 Ys? Are they going to have to get together?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do we get rid of a negative 8Y?
Uh,
You would have to
So we do it to
add
one
y.
side. 1, 2. Do it to the other there. Well, 8 just comes down. These are additive inverses. Uh-oh, it's doing it again. These are additive inverses too, aren't they? Bring down the 8. Okay, so tell me what's up with that.
8 equals 8. And wouldn't it be y equals 1?
Well,
Right?
did the variables cancel out?
Yeah.
So when the variables cancel out, what do you
Yeah.
have? We just talked about this problem. Variables cancel out. This is an
Identity
identity.
problem.
That's right. You see the 8 equals 8? Anytime the variables cancel out and you get something that's true, then it's an identity. So what's the solution to this equation? Look in your notes. I just had you write it down. With an identity, what's the solution?
Um.
Did you guys not write it down? This has got to be something you all remember. Now write this down. If the variable cancel out, it can either be all real numbers or it can be no solution. If you get something that's true, like this, it's an identity, and the solution is all real numbers. Or you can say that it's infinitely many solutions. But remember, it's called an identity, right? But the solution is all real numbers. That means you can put in anything.
Yeah.
There are infinitely many solutions, not just x equals 5 or x equals -2. It's all real numbers. Any real number you can put in. And there are infinitely many solutions. Okay. We're going to do one more and call it a day, okay? All right, everybody take a look at that.
Alrighty.
You guys aren't doing a great job of talking to each other now. I got 2 or 3 of you. Guys, I don't know where the rest of you are. Waiting on Bethany, I guess. Girl.
Alright, David, you do this one.
All right, y'all try this one. Feel free to start talking to each other just as soon as you get something you can talk about or a question.
All right, Davis, what'd you do first?
I got stuck.
Where?
After I get done with the distributed property.
Well, I mean, that's the first step. So, I mean, you may be stuck where you're at, but that's a good first move. Tell me what you did, and I'll write it down for everybody.
I brung down the negative 4x. I meant the
Good.
negative 4
Gotcha.
plus 6y. Then I did, and then I brung down a negative 3.
Gotcha.
3. And then plus 2 6y.
Nice work.
Positive 6y.
So that's really nice work. The first step is to get rid of that distributed property, right? To unlock that inside. Now, if he's stuck there, what do you guys think's next? Y'all help him out.
You would have to subtract 6y from both
Who's
sides.
that? Who is that?
That was Savannah.
Well, hello, Miss
Savannah.
Savannah. Glad your internet is holding up at least for the moment. Yeah, she's right. So we're going to subtract 6y because it's been added. Do it to one side. We're going to do it to the other side. So these are additive inverses. I bring down negative 4. Bring down the negative 3. Oh, look what happened. Those are additive inverses too. So what's up? What just happened?
Yeah. Identity problem.
Okay, now, what's different from this one than the other two I showed you that were identities?
This one has two different
Okay,
negative
so
numbers.
did you get something that's true or something that's never true?
Something that's
So negative
true.
4 is equal to negative 3? Okay.
No.
So here's what happened.
So it's a
That's right.
never true.
So you had the variables cancel out, right? You automatically know when those variables cancel out, you got a special problem. Because there's two types of problems. When the variable cancels out, then you know you've got something special. And what's special is this is never true. Okay? And so what this tells you is that there is no solution. In other words, there's nothing you can plug in for y that makes that equation true. Okay? All right, so this is what you should have in your notes. These are the two new problems. You're going to get some problems where the variables are going to cancel out, and you're going to be left with just number equals a number. If that is true, then it's all real numbers, infinitely many solutions. If it turns out something that's not true, then you have no solution. There's no number you can put in there. There's no solution to this equation. Okay? All right. Questions on that?
Okay.
All right. Be looking for your
No.
assignment tomorrow. I may go ahead and post that up today. If you guys can get a chance to talk to Bethany or Abigail or any of those people, Angel, that are not on here, I'm going to go ahead and post this to Google Classroom, this recording. So be ready for your new assignment tomorrow, but make sure people know Google Classroom is the place to check every day, okay? I'm going to hang around here for about another 5 minutes. If somebody has some extra questions, or if you want to go back to anything that we've been doing, okay? Hey, I love you guys. Hope y'all have a good rest of the morning, rest of the day, okay?
Okay. Peace.
See it.
Sophia, you have a question? And that would be a no.